Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Girdle. This is the Girdle Lives YouTube. Um, Today, I'd like to talk about why I feel like we might only have a couple more weeks before the entire crypto market pumps to freaking Valhalla and we all get stupid freaking rich. So, if you don't know me, I am a crypto for lifer in terms of the amount of time I've been in this market, multiple cycles I've lived, I've succeeded due to this market. I've retired from my career, made a bunch of money. It's benefited me, my family, and I want to help you do the same. So today I'm going to talk about 6 cryptos that you might have limited time to take advantage of. That will in all likelihood, in my opinion, at least 10 to 20, probably closer to 20x by 2025. So we are right now in October of 2024. So 2025 is almost here. We're officially in Q4. We might only have a couple more months before things really get, in my opinion, bloated. And of course, if you're following from prior videos, that's not when you want to be entering. You want to be entering now or earlier, accumulated and good to go before the fireworks really start to go. Okay, so we're just gonna dive right into this. Um, the first coin I'd like to talk about, of course, this is like one of the big ones that's on everyone's radar is the meme mania that's taking off, right? We have SPX 6900 and we have Giga, right? With SPS 6900, it's available on ETH and Sol. A lot of people have very lofty targets on this. It's already ran quite a bit. So if you specialize in memes, it might be interesting to you. By my estimation, if this really does become one of these mimetic movements, is what they call them, it goes from being from just a simple meme to something that is more ingrained and becomes like a culture, and there's a movement behind it. You could see potentially 20x or more from the current levels until the peak of this cycle, which I believe it will occur sometime. I'm leaning more towards early 2025. Um, to be determined. That can always change, but it's just my gut feeling based on many, many factors that we can get into. That could also come later next year. But if that is the case, a lot of these memes, a lot of these coins I'll be talking about after them as well, in the AI and gaming space, will probably, in all likelihood, print insane gains 10, 20, maybe even 30x, right? So, again, this first one, SPX 6900, this is a meme. So, I consider these extremely, extremely, extremely risky because you're basically betting on something that is inherently a lottery ticket, right? It doesn't mean that it won't work out, right? But you just need to know what you're getting into and risk adjust accordingly, right? That's how I view these. Some people may disagree, and that's fine. Um, but it's just a bet you have to take before you get into it, right? So, of course, like if we zoom into the chart here, we have a price not like last month that was 10 cents, right? Or less, right? You can say 6 cents, 10 cents. We're at 57 cents, okay? So if you say we're right around, like, let's take the average 50 cents, maybe we get to, 169 because, SPX 6900, that could be a good target for the community. That could be a 3 or 4x from here, right? I think that's a very attainable goal. You could have the 6.9 target, which would be right around, I believe it's a 7 billion market cap for this coin. And then you have a really high dream target for a lot of people that like this coin of maybe something like a 16.9, right? Which that is a very long shot dream hope target, right? And a lot of these memes are like this. You shoot for the moon or it's just nothing. Nothing amounts to it, right? Very few of them really take hold. There's so many memes are created all the time. There are a few that get a movement behind them and they can run crazy numbers. We've seen this before in the past, with coins like Shiba Inu coin. I'm sure many people are familiar with that. Last cycle, there's not data here on this chart, but I mean it's doing something similar to what Giga and SPX look like they're doing currently, where They start from very, very, very small market caps. They accumulate for quite some time, and then they pump and pull crazy gains, right? You know, like 100x or so. But if you catch it, somewhere right here where it's pumping to, millions, or half a billion, or what have you. If your target's 10 billion, it's still the math still kind of equals out to, like, a good target would be risk adjusted, maybe a 20x, right? You're not gonna, if you're planning on going all in and targeting 100x, from now, then you're betting on this being multiples of the the Shiba Inu market cap from prior cycle, which is certainly possible, right? But very, very high risk. And you could have the one that does it, right? We're not saying that there's people out there online, that say that that's the likelihood that some memes this cycle will go to 100 billion. It's possible, right? It's also possible that your meme does not, right? So that's where the risk comes in. Okay, we'll look at another one before we move on. Giga is similar to SPX, and then it's more like a movement behind it. I consider these like, um, ones that will probably stick around this cycle. They're kind of catching on. They have this organic growth behind them. Maybe the top from here is like a 20, 30. It might go higher, right? But a dollar, right, for Giga from here it's close to a 30x, 20 to 30x. Beyond that, it gets really risky. But it's like a lot of these memes. You're talking about the extreme risk curve in crypto, where you if you want to enter this in size, you're going to hope for the best, but you could also end up at zero. Like, and that can happen with any altcoin, right? But just know what you're getting into, right? So we looked at SPX, we looked at Giga. Those are two, in my opinion, that, just cut an arbitrary number. Maybe you see 20x from here to the end of the cycle, right? In terms of meme gains, right? And we can see in prior cycles with like a Dogecoin, it's kind of similar, right? Maybe you went from a billion to 60 to 80. This is like the meme coin end all meme coins, right? That is like the dream target, right? So if you're hoping for that, you're hoping for that you got the next Dogecoin at the bottom. It's possible. It's possible that you didn't, right? Okay, so now we're going to transition from the current meme mania and hype that's going on in the market to something where we have another, in my opinion, another winning narrative, which would be AI. And I feel like this is a little bit more predictable in terms of the projects and the coins that you pick. So it might be a little bit more reliable than saying, hey, I'm going to bet on Harry Potter Sonic Inu coin to go 100x. And if it doesn't, well, then I'm shit out of luck, right? So we can see Tau, it's an AI based coin. It's already had a little bit of a run. I picture Tau as the front runner in the AI space in terms of the AI coins. This is kind of a predictor of the future of what I believe a lot of the AI coins will do. Um, from the bottom here, around 185, it's already gone up 4x or so. So, and of course, this one, Ben Tensor is a 4.6 billion market cap coin. So the gains on this one may be more limited compared to the other coins we'll talk about, just in the AI space, just because just the sheer size of its market cap already. But you could still see multiples from the current level. Like, let's say if we get to a $3,000 price on Tau, right? You're still looking at a 4x. I mean, this is conservative, right? But it's possible you could see more. It's possible that you could see less. It could see much more than a 4x. But I feel like the other ones we'll talk about next in the AI space have greater ability to multiply from current positions just because they've yet to run. And I feel like a lot of the gains Tau makes here will trickle down, and a lot of the market participants will chase that at a certain point, right? But we're not there yet. But I believe that we will be getting to that point shortly. So now we'll move on to Beam, which is my favorite coin for this cycle. We have uh, Mark, the head of Beam, giving an update thread based on a lot of the progress they've been making. They originally they're in L1 on AVAX. There's 25 games, actively building. Just kind of, he's going through a lot of the progress, but sharing some of the ideas that they're working with a lot of other teams, a lot of things for validators, a lot of things that still can't be announced that will add value to this ecosystem. So I feel like a lot of the value of the Beam token itself is ahead of it, right? Heading into the meat of this cycle, the end part where a lot of the explosive games will be made. I feel like Beam is really well positioned to take advantage of that, just from the sheer fact that um, a lot of the supply demand factors are in place versus a lot of the other tokens that have large VC backing and a lot of dilution ahead of it. Beam is, in my opinion, at that sweet spot where a lot of that dilution has taken place. A lot of coins are in the hands of long-term holders. It's in the right narrative. The team is cranking out updates. They're making partnerships, games, AI. It's got everything. So it's not just gaming. It's not just AI. Beam has a lot going for it in terms of its financials, in terms of its partnerships, and I feel like that is going to materialize at the end of this cycle, and you're going to see some explosive gains ahead of it. So, going back from what we talked about earlier in this video with meme coins, and then a Tau and Beam, I feel like you might look at something like Beam as it might be maybe not more of a certainty versus meme coins, but I feel like it's more reliable in terms of you can rest assured that even if you don't get like say 30x or 20x, you might get close, right? I feel like um, a very sound prediction, not prediction, but target for this market cycle for Beam would be somewhere in the 15 cent, even as high as the 30 cent range. Um, it wouldn't surprise me if at the end of the cycle we were in the 20s on Beam, right? We're down here. Remember going back to we just talked about Tau. It's kind of predicting the future of what Beam will be doing, in my opinion, shortly. This market cycle, we broke out of that diagonal. We're kind of in the process of retesting it again, and I feel like you'll just see a continuation from here much higher. As soon as a lot of those catalysts are released and announced and behind it, we can look at a lot of the other stuff that is being teased. We have Sophon, the mainnet coming due, um, as well as other things. As far as a lot of the alpha that you can glean for this project, there's an account on X called the Beam Intern. As you can see, like they're just basically laying out the cards for you. What if gaming is simply the beginning? What if we leave all the competition behind? What if we achieve something that not even some of the most anticipated, highly known projects could not pull off, right? I mean, these are just breadcrumbs for, in my opinion, what they have planned. And they did the same thing last time when MC, before it became Beam, the token, it was at 0.0016 adjusted for beam terms, and it pulled over 20x. Okay, and they're playing the same game plan here with Beam, leading up to the conclusion of this market cycle. And I think you're going to see the same result, right? A lot of people, again, they're focused on this. They're focused on these extraordinary gains and this frenzy that's taking off, which again I believe this will continue, right? I'm not a meme coin doomer. I think this will continue, right? I think you're going to see comparable games. You might even see more than something like a Beam, right? You're definitely going to see um I think quite a bit ahead of something like a SPX and a Giga, right? But you're taking a lot more risk, right? So a potential 30x plus, or something, and we'll look at the Beam chart some more here, or something like a Beam where maybe you get a 17x or a 20x, right? But you can rest easy knowing that once you get up there, the project is well supported. You're going to have and honestly, a lot of the factors that make those memes that we touched on reach those high multiples, in my opinion, is the same reason that you're going to see something like Beam also reach those multiples, because it has that organic community behind it. It has that fun meme-esque fever behind it. and that will materialize, right? Sometimes it just takes time, and when you're patient, you can stand to realize those. But once that happens, it's going to start happening when everyone is focused on something else, right? People get distracted with memes, and then they get sour on AI, gaming, real world assets, all these other sectors of crypto. But that's when they should be really focused on, right? It doesn't, and again, it doesn't mean the memes aren't going to slouch either. It just means that, going back to the original tweet I had here, that everything at a certain point, the easy mode will be activated, everything will pump. Some things will pump more just because they haven't pumped yet, right? There's no hype behind it currently, but there will be, right? The money will seek gains in other sectors of the market. It always does, right? Certain sectors lead, and then eventually others will play catch up. Okay, so we touched on Beam. Another one related to Beam is Aether. I think this is a great play in the AI space. I think it's similar to Beam in terms of the gains it has ahead of it potentially. We broke out of the diagonal. It wouldn't surprise me. This is not a price target. It's not a prediction, but it would not surprise me if Aether did something crazy like a 40 cent or a $1 price at some point before this cycle ends. You could potentially see something like that out of Aether. It has a very large following online. They're projected to earn, I believe it's $100 million annual recurring revenue, which is blows any other AI project out of the water. It is pretty much unmatched in that regard. And again, just like Beam, the chart is setting up here, broke the diagonal, and it has a perfect ticker, ATH, right? So we'll keep ahead of this one, and it's very critical to watch if you're a fan of Beam or just AI space in general, because Aether is doing a lot in it. It has a proven business model. They can earn a revenue. And of course, Beam owns quite a bit of the supply. It's one of the largest investments in the Beam portfolio. So a lot of their performance, I believe, will be a mirror image leading into this end of this cycle in 2025. Okay, so we touched on Beam and Aether, and I'd like to finish this video with touching on another project that it doesn't yet have a chart, but it will soon. It's Sophon. They were originally they're an AI based project operating in the entertainment sector as well. They're teasing their mainnet for release. This is probably going to be really soon here, right? We're almost there. Mainnet redacted on 11/11/2024, probably in the next 1 or 2 months. Okay, so this is one to keep an eye out for, right? They just teased that Binance Labs has invested, which is a big deal for them. There's a lot of eyes on this, and it has a lot of funding. So this is one I consider my dark horse for this run, the rest of this bull run, just because of, again, the narrative and the partnerships and a lot of what they're doing with the usability around crypto. It's a lot of times it's very cumbersome and hard to use. I feel like that's a really good avenue to tackle, and a really like blue ocean, right? Something that I think a lot of progress could be made on that front, and already has a huge following on Twitter, right? Around it. So if they continue to focus on their community, similar to Beam, similar to Aether, I feel like this one could really blow up too by the end of the bull run. So one to watch over the next couple months here, right? So these are 6 coins that I feel are good bets for the rest of the cycle. They could mint you 20x gains, so you can get silly rich the rest of this bull run. And I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe this video so I can keep pumping them out. It really motivates me. Until next time, appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.